G'day everybody. This is VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Fairyland. Also the provider for Dippy TV. This is just a look in on the plans of the future of what I've got going, or what I've got plans for in the amateur fraternity for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's repeater. At the present time there, just to bring you up to scratch at the moment there, at the present time there, we've got one radio which is preparing to do Echo Link, and we've got another radio which is preparing to do C4FM Wires X. Now, all they have to be done is switched on, and they will go to two repeaters. Now, I've just acquired, purchased, whichever you want to class it as, an all-star node unit. Now, the proposal on this one is, with the all-star unit, I could operate all the nodes I require on the one unit. So what I'm looking at the moment there is, at the present time, I'm utilising a radio, a HMI I'm running a C4 FM unit, which gives the Wires X system running. Now, to do all what I'm doing, or what I've got plans, what's planned for doing, is there's multiple radios, multiple computers, multiple of everything. Now, since I've acquired a all-star device, this has got the capabilities of running all of my nodes, which I'll run into in a minute, on the using one radio, one computer, one device. So it cuts down 4 items into one. Now, I've done a very quick flow through with the club, and it's been very quick, informing them of what I can do here, and the club was generous enough to provide me with one radio. Excuse the my radio going off in the background. I'll turn that one down so it doesn't come through on the transmissions here. The club has provided me with one radio to do one job. which is fair enough. Since the club's only got one node, they have an Echolink node. They only require one radio for one node. I've got 5 nodes at my location, all doing different things. At my location here, I'm capable of doing Echolink, WiresX, DMR, and All-Star now, and D-Star. I've generously provided a C4FM, one of my C4FM nodes. I have 2 C4FM nodes. I've provided one of my radios, one of my nodes for the club. So they've actually got use of 2 nodes because they've got 2 repeaters. Now, that gives them a gateway on both repeaters. What I'm doing now is I'll be utilising their radio, not mine. I will connect my All-Star unit up to their radio, and I do have it stipulated that it is their radio. It does belong to the club. It's not mine. But the peripherals connected to it is mine. They, with that set up there, they'll get one of their main repeaters up on the Bunya Mountains with a gateway. The gateway will be provided from here at my location. They will have their original Echolink system with their for VK4 RET-R. That is their node, and it's connected to their radio. With having my All-Star unit connected in line, it will give them a multiple access, so it turns one radio into 4 radios. They can't be all the modes can't be used at once. They can only be used one singular at a time. So there's no cross-matching or anything like that. All the operator who wants to access these, all they require is a DTMF microphone on their radio. They only need a standard FM radio. They do not need anything special. Just a DTMF microphone. Once they've got the information they require, like they want to know what node they need to go in on, as long as they've got the node number, they put the node number, send the node number up to the repeater, and the devices will operate which one they require. They might want Echolink. They might want All-Star. They might want DMR, or they might want C4FM, the Wires X system. Now, they'll be talking FM, but it's all digital. Every one of those units is a digital unit. It'll come out clear, and you'll get to, that means they have got 4 different radios built into one. Now that's the plans I've got here. I've got the capabilities of doing it. I've generously have got a DMR, and as I said, I've got 2 Wires X nodes. I've generously allocated the Bunya Mountains one of my Wires X nodes. It still belongs to me, but they got the use of it. It's solely their use. So now the Bunya Mountains have got the use of 2 nodes, but since I run DMR and I run D-Star Wires X, All-Star, and that, they'll have all the same benefits as what I've got here on the repeater. Only using the one radio. No swapping, changing, or anything like that. They could utilise it anywhere, from a mobile, as long as they've got a DTMF microphone. From a base station. That means I've got the same here, same capabilities here, and I could run my other nodes as well as leaving given the repeater extra gateways. More gateways means more traffic. To be honest, there's no traffic on any of our repeaters. The busiest time that our repeaters ever get any use is on a Wednesday night for 1 hour in a week. Other than that, they virtually sit there being just listening. The idea is getting more traffic on them, get more use out of them. Otherwise, we're paying for repeaters which are just sitting up there waiting for one day. Now, with this expansion, what I'm doing here, there might be some people who are not in for it. I know that the majority of the people who are in our club have got no idea on digital stuff. The four digital items I'm only offering, it's the standard ones. I could give them packet. I could give them lemon peanut. You know, there's a lot of things I do here. I don't have a ticket. I don't have a signature on my name, you know, saying that I could do all this stuff. Some people go to school to learn all this stuff. I've never gone to school to learn it all. I learned it from when doing it all. Now, that puts me into another boat of the reasons I've had to waylay quite a lot of this stuff was because everything was all programmed and ready for 2 meters direct, straight up to the repeater, deal with it. Without anyone knowing what my situation is, where my QDH is. Yes, I am 425 metres above sea level. Yes, I'm on the highest point of my area. But I do not have true access to the Bunya Mountains where our repeaters are on certain frequencies. So I've had to work around that. I have got to a stage where I'm satisfied, where I'm sending broadcast quality, and I do repeat, my station here is broadcast quality on the end of transmission. What leaves my location is broadcast quality. What turns up at the repeater is broadcast quality. What goes through the repeater is not in my doing. Now, I say that at the moment because there is interference on our repeater, which is not my doing. And I've actually had to go and buy equipment which I didn't really need because my homebrew stuff, which I've been using for over 20, 30, 50 years, is not suitable to use on our link to the repeater. Mind you, the box I brought, which cost them a couple of $100, is identical to the ones I use at home. But because they got a brand name on them, the stuff I built, which is homebrew, doesn't apply. Now, these last few comments might be the turning point of them accepting my proposals or denying them. They've already gone far enough already where my knowledge of over 50 years worth of doing stuff with audio and playing around with transceivers and transmitters, I never went to school to learn how to do it. I just built them. I had a radio station down south. It's still operational. It is 3GCR FM, Gippsland Community Radio Station. I built their their second transmitter. We went from 100 watts, which was their first transmitter, to 2,000 watts, which is the one I built. But I haven't got the background. I don't have the knowledge. You try and build an exciter from scratch. You build a transmitter from scratch. Wind all the coils by hand. And then tell me that I haven't got that knowledge. Right. I'll get that's off my chest. I'm here as an amateur. I look at the radio not as a hobby. I'm very enthusiastic with it. Over the years, I've promoted amateur radio. I started a club up in Maryborough, Queensland. I was the instigator of Merge. I had more slow scan television being sent on UHFCB in Maryborough than what most people even thought of. I've trained people up how to, and they done it from scratch. They built their own, who was capable of soldering and all that. We done a week-on-week course to build the demodulator. I gave them a list of all the parts they required to purchase, and if they wanted to do it, they could build their demodulator. We ran an on-air course, and we done a little bit at each week. We done a little bit at a time until they had that thing finished. Maryborough Club, which I hold pretty dearly with. I'm still a member of them. I'm a foundation member, as I said. Runs the WIA National News. Prior to them running it, I ran it for 15 years. I simulcasted that communications on 2 metres and Channel 14 UHFCB. When I moved to my location where I am now, I had to build a radio setup for them so it was portable. So whoever was doing that month could have this unit in a box. All they had was a microphone going in, and all they had to do was connect a 2-metre antenna and a UHFCB antenna to it. Switch it on, and it will transmit a audio file of that week's news. As long as they had the capabilities of a license to operate 2 metres, and they had a computer at hand where they could plug the device into it, that's it. I train the people up to use the device. I train the people up to run the nets before I left them, before I moved out here. I come to be out here, no one knew me. They still don't. The club I'm with now doesn't even know the capabilities I'm capable of doing. Most of them got no idea on what I'm capable of doing because I don't have a ticket. I don't have that piece of paper saying I went to school. And because I also suffer with Asperger's syndrome, which is part of the autism spectrum, they don't show it, or they don't speak it out as much, but most of them think I'm bloody or crazy. I've got more brains than what they've got, most likely, when it comes to doing this stuff. And as I said, what I'm saying now, I'm probably killing off the idea of what I'm planning to do for the future. It's up to them. I've got no problems at all. I could run it all here, or I could run it through their repeater. But as I said, it leaves my place, it will leave my place in broadcast quality. It will be transmitted in broadcast quality. What happens when it goes through the repeater is a different story. That's not my concern. My concern is what it leaves here with. At the moment there, you're watching a video. The audio system which this video is going through is over $4,000 worth just in the audio system before it even gets to anywhere. The camera setup is quite a bit of money as well. You try and buy a 4K switching unit. You're not looking at a couple of $100. You're looking at a couple of $1,000. Some people chuck a bum because one of my radios is $6,500 worth when I brought it. I really don't care. Most of the radios which I use, which I loan out to people, are over $1,000 worth. The equipment I've got here, well and truly, I could buy a damn brand new house for most of my radio equipment I've got here, which no one ever sees. Because they all think I am bloody stupid, crazy, an idiot. They don't say it to me, but that's the impression I get. I'm to benefit clubs. I do not have to be told how to do things. I'll put suggestions up of what I would like to do. And I could do them. Anyway, with that lot there, the plans of the future of this place, as I said, I could give the local club with its repeaters. I don't ask, it's using my internet connections, my radio gear, well, correction, less one radio is theirs, and I'll be utilising that one for them, is that I could give them Echolink, WiresX, All-Star, and DMR, not simultaneously, but accessible to all of those modes through the one repeater. If I get the go-ahead and they say yes, I'll flick the switch and I'll have that up and running. But as I said, in between the first part and this part, there was a bit on what I have got my feelings as well. Because I do not like being treated like I'm a dummy, because I'm definitely not. And I'd benefit the Amateur Radio Society in more ways than one. I've got Heckle and Jekyll. I won't mention their real names, but I've got Heckle and Jekyll, who I've asked a few times the club to do something about them. and there was nothing done about it. When I spoke up about it, I was the worst bastard in the world. Because the way they were talking on the radio was not the way it's supposed to be. Yes, sometimes we have some bits and pieces, sometimes we don't. But anyway, with that lot there, that's the plans of what I've got in the future. You've also got the feelings of why I haven't been to a club meeting in the last year. Or part thereof. Because myself, I prefer to be living. I do. I live by myself in the middle of nowhere, doing all my little bits and pieces. And to be honest, you know, what I do here is a lot more than just talking on a radio or talking on the YouTube or wherever. But anyway, I'll shut up now, and I'll see if I get a reply from the club to go ahead with what I propose. If not, I'll just give them their Echolink system, or I'll just switch on their Echolink system, and I'll keep the rest for myself. It's up to them. I could give them all these digital modes where we'll expand their repeater system. Which most of them have got no idea on what they are. But, or they know of, but don't know of what. That's the easiest way of putting it. Anyway, I've gone for 33 minutes now. So this is enough to clear the weather, so to speak. And if they want to take up my offer, all they've got to say is yes. If they don't, okay, I'll just switch on the Echolink and give them, since the Echolink is the only node that the club owns, and let them just have the one gateway without the added benefits. Okay, this is VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Fairyland. Until the next time, bye for now.